Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 8 of TEW 2016, The Next Generation. Here we are at SmackDown Live, the go-home show for Backlash 2018, and let's run the show and see what we got going here. In a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Liv Morgan defeated Tamina in 8:22 by pinfall. Got a 35E+. Tamina got a 35, Liv Morgan got a 29. Again, Tamina and Lana got penalized there. I don't see Tamina as a major player. She's 39. She's not that charismatic, so we're giving Liv Morgan a little bit of a boost, putting her over Tamina on the pre-show before we get into the main card. And here we go. And I now realize I made a mistake, and I didn't put Shane McMahon in this angle that Shane McMahon's supposed to be in. It is instead Aiden English delivering Shane McMahon's promo. So once again, I have messed up. I am sorry for the unprofessionalism. But the show starts with Shane McMahon in the ring. And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an exciting episode of SmackDown Live, the last episode before Backlash. Now, as many of you may know, Daniel Bryan is now officially an active member of the SmackDown Live roster. The fans do the yes chant, they cheer, they do all their stuff. Shane takes a little break, and he comes back to the microphone and says, and what you may not know is that I have to take a leave of absence from WWE to deal with some things outside of this business. And I wanted to make sure that SmackDown Live was in the hands of someone I could trust. Someone who knows how to run a show well. And most importantly, someone who loves SmackDown just as much as I do. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new, I spelled general very wrong, general manager of SmackDown Live. He's got a 57C-. Aiden English improvised well throughout the segment. That's good to hear. That's very good to hear. Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. So Shane McMahon changes from Aiden English to Shane McMahon and introduces MVP as the new general manager of Monday Night Raw. And MVP makes his entrance to a loud ovation and gets into the ring and says, "Well, thank you for this opportunity, Shane. Now, in the WWE, I always felt like SmackDown was my home. It was my brand. I mean, I did have two of the greatest United States Championship runs of all time. And I plan on leading the charge to bring the next generation of SmackDown Live and make it the best it has ever been. SmackDown Live is no longer the land of opportunity. It's the land of big things popping and little things stopping. SmackDown already has a lot of big things popping. You have WWE Champion AJ Styles, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte, and a whole fresh wave of talent like Drew McIntyre, Andrade Almas, and Pete Dunne. So enough talking about the big things popping, let's start the action. 63C, MVP apparently is an arrogant heel. Angle got the crowd hotter. I'm surprised it only got a 63C. I was expecting it to go a little bit better, but I'm okay with that. MVP, new general manager of SmackDown Live. In a terrible match, Mike Kanellis defeated Mojo Rawley in 9:50 by pinfall with a photo finish. This was absolutely dreadful. I expected so much more of this. They don't click, and it showed in their performance, so that appears to be why this was such a shitty match. 39D-, 39 from Kanellis, 31 from Rawley, and it cooled the crowd a little bit. Kanellis gets a win, gets a little momentum, and Mojo continue to bury Mojo, because I don't like Mojo Rawley. A dark and brooding video plays, using post-apocalyptic imagery and the Ascension. It ends with the words, "Soon." 52D+, so a little bit of rebranding for the Ascension. We're going to take them out of the comedy role and turn them back into an actual serious tag team. Imagine that! So 52D+, the Ascension, making their way back soon. In a terrible match, Tyler Breeze defeated Epico Cologne in 11:59 by pinfall with a beauty shot. 46D, not happy with that. So far, this show has been very, very underwhelming compared to how I thought it was going to go. I am very disappointed so far, but there's still more show to be had. Kurt Hawkins stands in the ring, and he says, "Welcome to the Star Factory once again. Who will I make famous this week? Who will be the one who finally breaks my streak? Who is man enough to challenge me?" Hawkins waits, and he says, "Oh, come on, someone in the back has to." Pete Dunne comes out and makes a beeline to the ring with his music playing. He slides under the bottom rope and gets into the ring, into the face of Kurt Hawkins. Hawkins says, "All right, kid, you think you could actually beat me?" Cute. Hawkins turns around to put the microphone down, take his jacket off, put his cane down. Dunn grabs him while he's turned around, hits him with a bitter end, puts his foot on Hawkins' chest, and the referee counts to 3. Pete picks up the mic, looks down at the crushed Kurt Hawkins, and says that Bruiserweight was already a star. I didn't need the star factory. I just wanted to hurt you. 50D+, another very disappointing segment. Pete Dunne getting built up even more here after he destroyed the Miztourage last week, destroys Kurt Hawkins this week. Exciting things coming for Pete Dunne? Who knows? Chad Gable walks into MVP's office and says, MVP, nice to finally meet you. Look, I hate to come in here and ask for things on your first night, but this Sunday I'm facing AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. This is the biggest match of my career and I need a favor. Can you give me a warm-up match tonight? I'll wrestle anyone. I just need to prepare. And MVP says, Chad, my man, I've been a big fan of yours for a while. I like what you bring to the table. So here's what I can do. Tonight you're going to face Dolph Ziggler in the main event. It'll give you a feel of competition at that high level and an opportunity to perform in the high-pressure spot. Good luck out there, kid. I know you had problems with management in the past, and I don't want that to be a problem with us. 56C-. Gable clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. So MVP and Chad Gable form a nice working relationship as opposed to Gable and McMahon or Gable and Daniel Bryan. So Gable gets over his fear of management and is in the main event against Dolph Ziggler tonight. Exciting stuff. In a decent match, Samoa Joe defeated Zack Ryder in 7:59 by submission with a coquina clutch. 70C+. Good performance from Joe. About what I expected from Ryder. Building up Joe a little bit. Renee Young is backstage with Ty Dillinger, and she says, Ty, there are some who say you haven't done much since being called up from NXT. A lot of people have been saying you're a bust. But this Sunday you have maybe the biggest match of your career against Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship. Do you feel the pressure heading into this match? And Dillinger says, of course I do, Renee. I feel pressure every time I go out there. I've been on the main roster for over a year, and I have nothing to show for it. But this Sunday, I can change all of that. This Sunday, I can beat Jinder Mahal and earn my first championship here in WWE, and prove not only to myself, but to everyone here, that I do belong in WWE, because I'm Ty Dillinger, and I'm a perfect 10. 44D, very unhappy with that. This show has not gone the way I thought it would go. Ty Dillinger and Renee Young can't get a good promo out there, so I'm actually pretty shocked by that, because I thought with Renee Young it would be more interesting, but maybe it's because she's not super over. Who knows? Next segment. In a poor match, Mickie James defeated Sasha Banks in 18:45 by pinfall with a Mickey DT. During the match, we also had Alexa Bliss distract Sasha. 56C-, happy with that. James got a 53, Banks got a 48. They're outperforming a lot of the men, and I'm very happy with that. I'm happy to let the women shine. So Mickie James, if you remember, this match was the number 1 contenders match for Backlash, is now the number 1 contender. Mickie James and Alexa Bliss have microphones after the match, and Alexa says, allow me to introduce you to the new number 1 contender for and future SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Mickie James. And James says, as if there was any doubt, Alexa, everyone already knew that I would beat Sasha Banks, just like everyone knows I'm going to beat Charlotte this Sunday at Backlash. And everyone is finally going to see who the real queen of WWE is. And with the help of the goddess, the real queen will take her spot at the top. 60C, very happy with that. Gets the crowd hotter heading into the main event. I think heading into some angles for the main event. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, the power duo on SmackDown Live, running the show. Big E and Xavier Woods are backstage. And Big E says, Xavier, what are we going to do without Kofi? Now that he's on Raw, our positivity power has been reduced by a third. And Woods says, E, you can't look at this as a loss. You have to look at this as an opportunity. Stay positive. We may have lost Kofi, but now we have a chance to breathe some new life into the new day. We can add a new member. And E says, a new member? But who? And the crowd does the whole who thing as they look into the camera sheepishly. And Woods says, I have someone in mind. And he whispers into Big E's ear. Big E's eyes get really wide. And he says, you really think we can pull that off? You think he would join the New Day? And Woods looks into the camera with a smirk and says, positive. 82B, happy with that. Big E was superb without a script, and Xavier improvised well. Very happy with that segment. The New Day, maybe saving SmackDown Live from terrible ratings. Now on to the main event. Oh, Lord. In a decent match, Chad Gable defeated Dolph Ziggler in 2041 by submission. They didn't click, and it made for an awkward bout. 62C, 60 for Ziggler, 52 for Gable. That does not give me hope. That means this show is going to be at most a C. And I'm not happy with that. I really thought the show was booked better than that, but regardless. Next segment. Gable is celebrating in the ring when AJ Styles comes down clapping. Styles gets into the ring, raises Gable's hand. Gable's music resumes playing. The crowd cheers and SmackDown Live ends. So AJ Styles comes out, show respect for Chad Gable, raises his hand before their match on Sunday. 76B-, not happy with that. And there is a dark match. I forgot I put a dark match here as well. In a post-show bout that had great wrestling and good heat, AJ Styles defeated Jeff Hardy in 2209 by pinfall with a Super Styles Clash in a dark match. Wow, that is edgy. They have pretty good chemistry and it lifted the match. Styles got a 90, Hardy got a 73, 63C because it was a dark match. I just wanted to put that there to see if I could draw more fans to the arena maybe. I don't know if it worked or not. And the show, let's see what we got. 68C+, the show lost its popularity in 18 regions. A little bit better than I expected the show to be, but also not what I wanted. But you can't win them all, so I'm happy with that. Kind of, not really. Let's see what we got on TV. Alright, so that episode of SmackDown Live was held in the Century Link Center in Omaha, Nebraska, in front of 11,623 fans. On TV, it got a 20.70, which is only 15.5 million viewers, so that is a huge drop-off, almost a full million viewers from the last episode. Got a 68C+ again, and hopefully Backlash doesn't flop like these have. I put a lot of work into Backlash, and I think it's going to be a good show, so I'll see you guys at Backlash.